Hello, welcome to Wrestling in Mom's Basement. This is going to be the retro review for Extreme Rules 2009. I, of course, am Patrick Young. This gentleman to my right is my co-host, Joe Venuto.
Extreme Rules 2009 took place on June 7, 2009 from the New Orleans Arena in New Orleans, Louisiana, now known as the Smoothie King Center.
Which may be the worst name I've ever heard for arena.
Attendance 9,124. Commentators like Cole Taz, Matt Striker, Jim Ross. I'm not shouting Taz. Well, Cole, Jerry Lawler, Matt Striker, Jim Ross, Todd Grisham, Josh Matthews. The main event this shows Jeff Harper's in a ladder match and Batista's working in cage. Kick things off with U.S. title Kofi Kingston's MVP versus William Regal versus Matt Hardy. Kofi won his title 6 days ago from MVP. He beat Matt and Regal for the title shot in the first place. Apparently, failed 4 ways in a string gimmick.
Apparently.
So why not? MVP is a face here, I think. Regal has been hitting on Vicky to get into this. Matt gets a rare solid pop. He's a heel here, so which is just odd. Matt still has a broken hand from Backlash from the I Quit match that we reviewed a few weeks ago.
Yes.
MVP is the same MVP that he is still today on the Indies. That was all you need to know about him. He hasn't changed a bit in like 9 years, 10 years. Regal hasn't either. He's just more or less a gym and actually no. Kofi has a die take out every American in this match. That'll be Matt and anything.
Yeah.
Then he takes out the British guy as well. As your usual setting for one of these matches is you give rotating one matches. But that works fine. I think this is really the only way you can do this without seeing choreography before it starts. Regal gets the solid heel heat because he's easy to hate. Everybody but Matt gets in a tower do spot, so Matt dives on all of them, but of course that doesn't work. Also, his hand just seemed fine all of a sudden. Then Matt hits the leg drop in the middle rope. Kofi hits a boom drop with Regal, who was on top of Matt in a decent spot. Kofi hits that pendulum clip, hit the pendulum kick in the corner. And then MVP went on belly to belly over his suplex spree. And then Bola hits on Matt. As we were close to the ending, you can feel it. Regal beats up everyone, but Kofi bounces off the top rope and hits a kick to the head, which is a Trouble in Paradise for the pin retain. It looked like a 1 foot drop kick, but longer.
Yeah, this just felt like things being thrown together and stuff happening. It really didn't have any structure to it.
Not bad, I guess, but way too short. This wasn't even 7 minutes long. And it was just kind of a mess. It's certainly not a bad match or anything like that. But I just felt thrown together and was there kill time. That's never a good sign. Kofi's reign, I think for this title is about as forgettable as you can ask one to be also.
Yeah.
Because it's so forgettable, I don't remember who won the title. Who he beat for the title. I want to say The Miz, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. That would be my best guess. I give it a C-.
D+. Big Show's backstage says instead of asking for a strategy, you should have seen for his strategy. They have a submission match later tonight. We recap Jericho trying to raise myself on SmackDown. Him dressed as a Ray fan was really smart, actually. Intercontinental title, Rey Mysterio versus Chris Jericho. This is one of the matches that brought credibility back to the belt. Or one of those feuds that brought credibility back to the belt. Ray's defending here. Jericho's voice says he's not damn up here, which is at the Merseyside stand. He says the stairs are cursing deception by having to use the mask. He does the walk into the ring for a crowd promo, which is always awesome. This was when Jericho was still just completely amazing with this gimmick. And still is completely amazing with his gimmicks. Jericho wants Ray's mask. These two toward the world apart, great matches, and this should be great. Both guys know about 100 styles and can mix them up real well, so I'm up for this. And this is the whole bar for the gimmick. We saw on the floor right from a piece of the table at Jericho. They're going on face-to-face here, which is very clearly working for them. This is one of those matches that's hard to make jokes about because you know it's going to be good. Ray hits a nice punch over the top at 4. JR says Ray's being as aggressive. That's true, I suppose. It's strange seeing Jericho being the bigger guy in a match.
Yeah.
We get some decent talk about customs and traditions associated with the Mason Lucha Libre, which is very interesting stuff when someone like Mike Tenay or JR talks about. I don't know what Mike Tenay talks about, my fault. When Todd Grisham talks about it, it sounds like someone giving a high school presentation.
Kinda, yeah.
Ray takes a gore bust on the floor. That will have hurt. Jericho goes to the mask, and you get a perfectly clean shot of Ray's face. A really good suicide dive to Jericho out though. This has been high impact, back and forth. one more thing I asked for the fans appreciate this too was, which they should be, Jerry gets his spin rack thing for a long two. Lysol, of course, misses. Radius 619, he jumps into a code breaker, though, and we're about even. The looks Jericho was doing facially was great. Jericho has a cheer, maybe he wanted to get Ray a lap dance, I don't know. The way he was holding it. He just sat down silent. And then, Ray says something, Cheer gets a run start, but gets caught in the walls. Somehow he gets the cheer and drills Jericho, nice shot too. Ray is our 619, but Jericho manages to pull the mask off, since Ray's desperately covering his face. The roll by Jericho ends it.
Really, really great match. Jericho and Ray worked very well together in this feud. And I thought this was a nice middle part of it to see before the ending. Great stuff.
I think this is my favorite Chris Jericho feud, by the way. Out of them all.
Okay.
Great match here with these going back and forth, all kinds of stuff. The cheer play of every limited role was just a stipulation fairly pointless, but still the match worked so well that I can't complain. It's not like they didn't get used all, so I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. The match was great, though, as it turns out that when he puts you guys in the ring and let them just go, things turn out well.
A.
A-minus. Josh Evans with Batista, we see a video for Monday where Orton and Legacy beat up Flair in a fight and play him. Big Dave says Orton won't be able to do that 10 tight. This is supposed to be the big and dramatic, and it just isn't at all. CM Punk vs. Umaga. This is a main feud that sold Umaga just to destroy Punk every time. Punk is right back here and has been trying to catch him for a while, but Umaga keeps stopping him. And this is a Samoa strap match. Why do I not push for a lot of straps in Samoa?
I don't think there's a lot of cows in Samoa, to be fair.
That's true. Though we're tied at the
I don't know the flora and fauna of Samoan or Samoa. I don't think it'll be up either.
They'll be tied to Rosera, and you can win by pinfall or submission. There was never any justification for Umaga to beat the heck out of Punk like he did, but whatever. I guess you go if he's a savage. I don't understand. So there's pin submission, my fault. It's the four corner one, my bad.
Yeah.
Which is not a good thing. There's our helpful graphic corner say how many you have in a row with Punk and Green and Umaga in Ray. Umaga works with Punk's arm starting this match as the match itself is just kind of odd for him. And with Punk on 4, Umaga gets 2 buckles. Let's say the third goes for Punk. I don't know, Samoans were so serious. And Punk over GTS. And that was cute, but it doesn't work. Grisham says Punk was undaunted. What does it mean to be undaunted? Alright. I've never heard anyone be daunted, but just undaunted. Fans are worried behind Punk. Punk is 3 by charging Umaga and saying gets drilled. He deserves it for being stupid. Umaga gets 3, but Punk gets him to charge out like a bull. Umaga gets at 4. This was getting fairly repetitive. Umaga gets pulled off the top and crashes the mat. Punk is 3 and with Umaga pulling away from him for no explained reason at all. Umaga charges out his thing, is calling the GTS, so Punk can win. And then was just stupid looking on Umaga's part.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of strap matches. However, they came up with a little bit more of a unique one of just guy has 3, the heel tries to stop him from getting the 4th, the heel gets the finisher, and then the face tags the 4th one. It's technically one of the more unique finishes you'll see in a strap match. Not a unique finish, but just one for the strap matches. Yeah, this one was barely okay to me. Wasn't really all that exciting, and I really don't like strap matches.
These matches were never really were good unless the Saga Vega versus Olsen. You can show me a better strap match from WWE. Please recommend one.
Yeah.
This is no exception. Also, there are 4 too many stupid moments here, mainly the ending. I love Punk, but this is just an incredibly pointless feud. Unfortunately, thankfully, this was the last one between them. Keep an eye on Punk, though. He's going places.
C-.
D. Gregory Helms is with Christian, and he says that Dreamer and Swire will lose tonight. Dreamer says Christian will lose. Swire comes up and said they'll both lose. Okay, then. Well, Swagger has a point.
Yeah.
2 of them are losing.
Yeah.
I don't know who wrote that one. Jeez. ECW title. Christopher Tunger and Jack Swagger. If Dreamer loses, he's gone. This is a hardcore match, so there's pinfalls count anywhere. Who will believe Swagger will be the most successful guy in WWE a year later? God.
Yeah.
Up until that point, yeah. So Dreamer's on a 1-day contract since they mistimed the whole contract thing in storyline terms, so there you go with it. Swagger's the guy. Christian beat Ticket to Done. We even get big match intros. Dreamer is wearing something close to silver pants. And hey, did you know the champions had disadvantage here? I know that almost between twice and 4 seconds the competition will be enough indication. Striker says Dreamer has a Singapore stick.
And that is Singapore cane or kendo stick.
Let the ECW fans freak.
Yep.
White Russian leg sweep by to Swagger. Dreamer hits a front foot with a trash can behind that hits their faces. Dreamer decides for the baseball slide by Christian Styleton does it himself. Elworth, the blonde-haired WWE product, did the ECW originals thing to a non-WWE guy. That sums up anything so easily. The people want tables. Yeah, I'm stunned too. Swagger no-sells some kendo shots and hits a belly-to-belly to Dreamer. We're going with Veer's all 1 matches, which is what I would expect it. Crowd's dead other than for the base draw. Swagger for the gut wrench. But Dreamer nails will crush twice as a DDT to get the ECW title. More on that in a bit.
Honestly, I thought it was a decent hardcore match. Nothing really special, nothing really to write home about. And for the ECW fans that still stayed around, hey, they got Tommy Dreamer to hold the ECW title one last time, so overall, nothing really offended me.
Right time, please.
Yeah.
Me, right, is not long. This is your traditional hardcore match, which means let's hit each other with the trash cans and hope that people care. This is just to me, it felt completely lifeless, and I just want to see, and which is something I have an issue with that often. There are far more matches I did just nothing to it all. Even Dreamer's win, while a big moment for old school ECW fans, feels flat. Let's take a look at this for a minute. Imagine if Christian or Swagger in the original ECW. They come over as 2 guys that would get booted out of the building for some reason. And the size of that belt is freaking huge, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Dreamer has a massive celebration, and you can tell that he's loving it, and it's a huge deal. But you can see ECW's already dead by just around way here, and even me, someone that didn't get into the original ECW until like last year or so when we started, until like 2 years ago.
You've gotten into the original ECW.
Well, I've gotten stuck doing more than you have.
That's true. I usually make you do them.
Yeah, so you've only had to do like 1 or 2, I think.
2.
Yeah, I'm at like 3 or 4, I think. You just find this out. Fan originally so can't tell this doesn't mean anything at all. Yeah.
I gave it a C.
D. Look at the next segment, for instance. Vicky's preparing to defend the title Miss WrestleMania against a guy in drag in a hog pen match. The Soul VCW is dead, and the top old Dreamer will lose the belt in Philadelphia to Christian. Two pay-per-views later. It actually kind of makes me sad. So anyway, Vicky's training for her hog pen match while Chavo makes pig noises and is wearing a pig nose. Let's get this over with. Miss WrestleMania, Santina Morella versus Vicky Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero. Please make this go quick. Seriously, this is the dumbest thing of the year, and you said. Yep. Laura's the host for this stuff. You had to get to the pen. And the pen which has the hogs in. Oh, okay. Please let this go as I told forever. First, Chavo is her partner, is 2-1. She first bought Chavo, who's in street clothes, and he beats her up. So they're in a mud pen. They had to be thrown into 0-1 and then pinned. Or they can come back out of the one with the pigs and get pinned in the bigger. No. Vicky comes in. Chavo accidentally slaps her shoulder. Santina pins her, and this is thankfully over. Vicky and Chavo fight in the mud as Cole Laura laughing. Luckily by Vince's words. Santina's celebration ever as this segment has gone no longer than all but 1 match so far.
Pig shit.
Rating NA.
NA.
Thankfully. Give me a match that I'll rate it.
I'm sure it gave Vince 2.5 minutes of laughter.
There was our
The
time.
rest of us suffered.
There was an ad for SummerSlam, which was a really good show, if I remember correctly. We recapped Batista vs. Orton, which was, of course, about Flair. I was different. I remember an announcement at Cage Match on Raw that completely sucked Raw this time. Flair was kind of annoying at this point because even Orton asked him to sort of, are you retired or not? Flair got pun, I think he never came back until 2012.
Yeah.
Goalless and Hornswoggle. May follow Vicky and Chavo. Edge and Vicky Zolvas and AJ Stanford are still married, but they're arguing here. Edge says they're getting divorced. Raw World title, Randy Orton versus Batista. This is a cage match. Orton is really evil lately, and Batista's banning him for kicking Flair. You know, a lot of people are glad about. Batista gets a very solid face bomb. Orton is dangling from the top of the cage less than 30 seconds in. But at least not wasting time. Basically, Orton's over his life here, but Batista keeps cashing in. In less than 3 minutes, Orton has almost been out 3 times. I sense the theme. 4 times in 3.5 minutes. Well, this is consistent. It basically how evil he can be disappointing, how over he is, however he was like all these years later as a babyface or a heel. Orton first with the cage, everyone's tied like 5 minutes into this. I think the cage is deadly, but come on now, people. Pump misses and Orton runs again. Batista ball on RKO or counter, but the bomb hits and gets 3 in 7 freaking minutes. Yes, this match is over in just barely over 7 minutes. What the heck? Well, we'll turn out Batista had torn bicep, I believe. And he will vacate the belt on Monday. Or Tuesday on his storyline, but yeah. The following Monday, we'll win back in the national role, making this whole change, say with me, totally pointless.
Yeah, this made absolutely no goddamn sense. Unless Batista was injured. It was a really, really short stuff. Just not a good cage match. I don't think you can have one in 7 minutes.
Seriously, I've seen long cage matches at house shows. I think that the match was booked. It had to be all short, so, but that doesn't mean it's acceptable. This was a spell round, mainly due to it being way too short and like half of being Orton trying to run. You could tell something was up there, so I guess it makes sense.
I was nicer because Batista got injured D.
F. We recapped Big Show vs. Cena, and it's just that show's too big to get the STF one, so we're having a submission match. So Cena can look great and win. Big Show vs. John Cena, okay, so there's an hour left in the show, and we have 2 matches left. That's not a good sign for this one.
Unless Edge and Jeff have like a 45-minute match. Which they don't.
Cena goes for a leg, which makes sense, but only works twice. Shows finishes the Colossal Clutch, which is the reverse chin out that looks like it will hurt bad. And nice looking spot. Cena goes for a bulldog and shows pushes him out of the ring. That did look awesome. The flying shoulder is working well, which is a great visual. Then the match is pretty boring. The oil in the commentary goes way down in the volume too. Even Cole and King stopped talking. Show goes for a full Nelson, who I'm trying to figure out who Nelson was. And why does he have like 3 moves in that game?
Full Nelson, half Nelson.
Yeah. Or 2 moves. Who is Nelson?
I don't know.
The things I thought about during this match.
Yeah.
This was going so slow and it's rather annoying. Cena gets a sleeper, which is smart, at least he's thinking. That's actually was more of the choke, but whatever. It basically that guy can actually be strangled for about 45 seconds by a guy that's ridiculously strong and still be, alive. Show his value, which is just awesome every time I say it. Again, this was a hard-born match. Now, shows work on the back of ribs, because this match being more paint by numbers. This match is just crawling by with nothing of interest at all going on. Show pulls on Cena's neck, which works on his back somehow, but never actually gets for a hold. Crowds are dead, but they're rather sick. Vader bomb misses. Cena can't slam him. I want this to end. I think Show start hugging him. It's not a bad hold, I guess it's bored. Cena's on the floor, nothing knows happened. It's just them plotting around filling time. Maybe they didn't open more than 6 minutes. This could be shorter, and therefore watching. We probably spent 5 minutes just standing around the show looking down Cena. Oh, look, and nominal stress. Choke slams counter DDT. And again, he can't help that stand for you. Cole says Cena's showing signs of life. I guess that means besides the whole walking, breathing, moving, and looking around. Hey, let's have a beer hug down since that's oh so riveting. Cena hits the FU, but can't get the STFU. the knockout punches. Can we watch a knockout match instead? Cena is a top rope famous star. And we get to the really stupid ending as Cena ties Show's leg in a rope and hooks STFU. That was. The problem is Show's leg comes undone, so it's just a crossface. And there's the tap, thank goodness. Cole saying Cena has done no miracle. Some things up pretty well, I say. You know, just because I just said.
By the way, did they say anything about rope breaks in the match?
No.
So technically, shouldn't there have been a rope break for the finish?
Yeah, just over it.
Okay.
Dude, it's sort of going on longer than the Jeff speech.
Okay. I have one reaction to this. Well, one word reaction to this match. Boring.
Yeah, sweet goodness, this is bad. I don't think I've ever been so bored by a match. And somehow that's not exaggeration. This is as painfully bored as nothing happens for about half this match. It was more like 20 minutes, mind you.
Yeah.
Just terribly boring, and while the ending was creative, the botch made things look awful.
F.
Edge and Hardy did the big long video. This felt like a big match. With Edge saying something like Jeff Bates highlight reels where Edge wins world titles. So I was excited for this one. SmackDown World Title, Edge versus Jeff Hardy. There must have been like 15 ladders around the ring and the aisle. Of course, Justin Roberts tells us that this is a ladder match since we can never figure out why not on our ring. Edge is champion here. Jeff was obviously a really big deal back then. If you've really been watching as long as we have, it's kind of weird to see Jeff versus Edge in the main event of a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
The crowd was there all night up until this match, though. Well, up until after Ray and Jericho in this match. There's, Jeff goes for a small ladder, but Edge drives into his ribs to start us off. JR reminds us that the ladders aren't going to give, even though these two were the first people to break one in Money Bank in 2007.
Yeah.
And then Edge hit a spear when there was a ladder between Jeff and the corner. Edge taps Jeff's leg in between the ladder and hits a sharpshooter when Jeff was lying on the ladder. Jeff actually taps, which is a surprise and nothing else. I love the spots where the ladders dropped out from under someone. Those are always awesome looking. And a nice spot, Edge takes a gore buster onto an inverted ladder onto the parts that spread out to brace the ladder, so that hurt. Mm-hmm. It was big ladder time. Jeff gets on top of it and tries to lead it over so it'll fall and he'll be able to grab a belt. That was the original release, I guess. And there were seasons of amazing when people pull out new spots with ladders like Kofi that time, and it's still Mania.
Yeah.
I think it was this year. I think it was in 09.
Yeah, I think it was WrestleMania 26.
26, I thought.
Yeah.
2007, yeah. And we're saying that about Edge versus Steve. JR says he jerks him down, which is a better description than when he said Lee jerked Edge off at being 17 in the previous video.
Yes.
Jeff.
Mark Henry handling the Big Johnson.
Jeff lands on his leg, so that's hurt now. And of course, he hits the Whisper in the wind off the ladder, just like that. Normal 4 on a ladder set between a railing and a ring, like a bridge, if you know what I mean. Jeff gets launched into the front row. JR said that he went sealing. I'm pretty sure there's a funny skit with Jeff dressed as a sailor in there somewhere. Just he was sealing.
Yep.
Edge is still on the ladder. That was a bridge that Jeff climbs up on another one. Edge goes up and climbs Jeff's ladder, and yep, they both go for the ladder. That won't give a bit. That's cool. As the ladder's broken and bent and stuff, and there goes the referee once we're back in the ring. And then there's that what's ass barrier. Jeff climbs the big one in the ring, Edge climbs in one corner. Edge goes for a big spear like a Mania 17, but Jeff actually catches him in a diamond collar. Called a Twist of Fate, but I can look at that one. They're both onto the big ladder and fight it out there. But Jeff drops down in a brilliant spot, pulls Edge down through the rungs of the ladder, so that his arms are the only thing stopping him from going down to the mat, and that's enough for Jeff to win.
I thought it was a really good ladder match. Yeah, there were things where they felt more about the spots than they actually did psychology, just in some instances. But overall, a very good, entertaining ladder match, I thought. Yeah,
a very solid main event with the two masters on a ladder match, doing what they do best and making this a big deal. It was a great match. The two of them haven't seen chemistry together, and this is no exception. Great match, and nearly a great way to close the show. I say nearly because the show isn't quite over yet.
A-.
A-. JR does the ring told to Jeff, and cue CM Punk's music It's on Monday Night Cash. SmackDown World Title, CM Punk versus Jeff Hardy. Jeff can't stand up, and there's the GTS for 2. Punk's heat was molten here. Then a second GTS gives Punk the title. Obviously, we're not going about with ring here. But the first or second here was obviously was harking back to the resilient face, turn Punk heel. The last of these seconds were awesome too. They were channeling, I guess, for Steamboat, where Steamboat will come back and try to win the belt.
Yeah.
But getting beaten down. And then the 3 seconds Punk kept him down, like Flair did. And then Punk's heel persona would debut about a month later. The straight edge officially.
Yeah, you would start hearing it a little bit more from him.
Yeah. To give us an awesome feud between them for the summer.
Yeah. That was actually an awesome ending to the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I'll have that, since we can't grade it. But my overall is going to be C+. I thought the show had promise, but it ended up sort of underperforming, except for a couple of matches. Namely the ladder match and Jericho and Ray. Jericho and Ray was my favorite match of the night.
Same here.
But the rest of the card just, well, specific on the Raw side, was severely lacking, I thought. And the SmackDown undercard under Jericho and Ray wasn't all that great either. Again, I'm separating the main event in that as well. But honestly, I wanted more out of this card than I got.
Yeah, I know you're kind of biased with the crew because of the ending and the 2 matches.
Yeah.
So am I. D+. Well, there are 2 great matches on here, and then a great ending. And that it just has nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean like Whitney Houston. I had nothing. I mean nothing. The problem is there's a difference between being just a waste of time and being a bad waste of time. This would be the latter. Other than the IC and ladder matches, there's nothing, and the cash-in, there's nothing here. The problem with the IC match is the rematch next month is even better. Between Ray and Jericho. If you think that's possible. So there's absolutely no reason to see the show. Punk's second cash-in is far better than his first section. Other than that, nothing new here. The ladder match is good. The main event, the Intercontinental is great. The cash-in's great. There's nothing else to say to the show. Not recommended at all the show, but I will recommend the IC match and the ladder match. They're both see if you're bored.
Pull up the randomizer. I already got it. Alright, here we go. WWE Survivor Series 2004. That's the one with the brand warfare, right?
The one with Word One?
Yeah.
No, you wish. Oh, look at that score. .92. WWE Cruiserweight title fail 4-way match. Spike Dudley versus Billy Kidman versus Chavo Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio. Intercontinental title match. Shawn Benjamin versus Christian. Survivor Series 8-man tag team elimination match. Adrian John Cena, Rob Van Dam and The Big Show versus Carlito, Caribbean Cole at the time. Kurt Angle, Luther Reigns, and Mark J. Oh my god, a heel team. Adrian Angle and Carlito. Singles match. The Undertaker versus Heidenreich. Women's title match. Trish versus Lita. And the WWE Heavyweight title match. JBL versus Booker T. And 1 month control over Raw Survivor Series 8-man tag team elimination match. Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, Maven, and Randy Orton versus Batista, Edge, James Fiske, and Triple H. Yes.
Well, that sounds like shit.
Which one?
The whole card, really?
But what's wrong with Trish versus Lita?
It's only a minute long.
But what's wrong with Shawn versus Christian?
That one can be okay.
What's wrong with the failed 4-way?
That can be okay. The rest of it just sounds like shit.
Well, this match is good. Maybe it's not even in the match.
Yeah.
Did he just beat up? And Maven's by far the worst worker in the match. Okay, swear shot.
Gene Snitsky.
Wait, how's this match not shit though? There's like 6 skilled workers. Wait, how do you figure out 6 out of 8? It's bad.
Yeah, that just sounds. From everything I've seen at Raw at that point, there's parts of it that do sound good, but there's other parts of it where it can be overbearing.
Well, Meltzer gave it a good ring.
Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just saying from outside perspective.
This feud's about Josh Matthews versus Orlando Jordan.
Okay.
You do see that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and what's wrong with this match?
Heidenreich.
For 15 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah. And with the great rating that the majority have given it.
5.92.
That's like a 5 out of 5.
It's a 5 out of 10.
That's not even like bad. That's like legit in the middle.
Yeah.
Where it's almost above average, that just ain't that good.
Yeah.
That'll be next Monday with the Monday Night Wars for May 13th, 1996. We'll be back Friday with our Royal SmackDown Live Superstar Shake-Up, 205 Live NXT UK shows, and our top 50 female wrestlers, top 100 male wrestlers, so on Friday. Right?
Yeah.
No, it's this Friday. Okay. Mm-hmm. Alright, so happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Because that's our Easter gift to you.
Yes.
Because we forgot to do them in Brooklyn.
Or we just didn't want to. Or we didn't have them done.
We had them done in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So see you then.
See you then.